Good morning, everyone. Let's bow our heads for a word of prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Once again, we ask you to look over this board and let us make the decisions for the betterment of everyone in Union County and surrounding areas. We want to give you thanks for Commissioner Google back with us and continued prayers for him. Also, Angie back with us. We appreciate that and continued prayers. Also, would like to add Sheriff Wilkins to our prayer list for his surgery and continue to watch out for him. These things we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stephanie, would you do the roll call, please?
Commissioner Harville?
Here.
Commissioner Pitts?
Here.
Commissioner Miller?
Here.
Commissioner Bierstadt?
Here.
Commissioner Gould?
Having a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order. First item, approval of minutes. We've got minutes from our regular meeting on April 11th and 25th. Everybody had a chance to look at those. Any of the additions or deletions?
Make a motion to accept. I'll second it.
Commissioner Harville?
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt?
Yes.
Commissioner Gould?
Yes. Public comments. Can't see you, Jeff. Committee reports.
Well, Max, we have a meeting coming up this Tuesday coming up, May 13th at 5:30 in Ullen down there at Southern 5. Everybody's more than welcome to come. It's always open to the public. We'd love to see some people.
Dale Animal Control is doing well. We're doing pretty well out there. Our population is down a little bit, but we can still use some monetary donations, kibble and bits and things like that. Open house June 21st, right? So we'll open it up, let the public see what it's like out there. I think they'll be pretty impressed.
I think we're gonna set it from 12 to 3, is that right?
Sounds good, yes.
It's on a Saturday.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And a good day.
Yeah, staff's doing really well out there. I appreciate all the work they do. That's all I got.
The next Southern 7 meeting will be on Thursday, the 29th. See what's going on there after we get to that.
Between Church and the hospital, I did make a Shawnee Development meeting. They're just worried about grant money coming in with all the cuts.
Anything else? Buddy? Building permits.
You have two of them. The first one is parcel number 050102923923B4. It's at 215 Plot Lane in Anna for Marianne Knoll and Rachel Nicholas. It's a barn, no subdivision, no floodplain, recommended for approval. And the second one is for parcel number 0219000954E. It's at 675 Campground Road for Eloise Quick. It's a single family, no subdivision, no floodplain, recommended for approval.
Any questions on the building permits?
Make a motion to accept.
Commissioner Harville?
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt?
Yes.
Commissioner Gould?
Yes. Moving on to old business, ordinance amending Article 1, Chapter 18 of the Union County Code of Ordinances regarding food and sanitation. We're still working on that. I think the state's attorney is in the process of reviewing it, so we're going to table that still. Item B, discussion of solar ordinance. I think we want to discuss that a little bit at this point. We're not ready to do anything, but
Yeah, I want to give some information on what we've been working through. Everyone knows solar power is becoming a more common thing these days. There's been more than one inquiry with the county about commercial solar projects that could happen in the county, i.e. what we would call a solar farm. And looking into that, we've taken and acquired multiple examples of solar ordinances from other counties in the state to take a look at, see how they're handling regulating, licensing, or permitting solar farms. We've got a good framework for a countywide solar ordinance that would essentially lay out the requirements for building permits for solar power farms. Also talks about your insurance requirements and various other requirements for the construction and those kinds of things. There's also other things that have to be done as far as agricultural land agreements with the county, because depending on the size of the farm, it can impact agricultural things such as runoff, and it can also impact wildlife and those kinds of things, so you have to think about that. There's also a traffic evaluation that can be applicable depending on where a farm would be proposed to be installed. That's something that I want to talk with at length with Amy as well. When I can get with her, Angie and I spent about an hour yesterday just sort of picking through some of these other ordinances, doing some research. Right now, there's a proposed project for about, as best we could tell, would be about a 1 acre solar farm. That's small compared to some of the things we've seen. There's a major project going on in southeast Missouri right now that I think is 2,500 acres in the Boothill area.
Right now.
I'm driving by that. when I
Kelso.
Go to Memphis, and it's just amazing.
This was in Kelso.
It's all you can see for miles.
Right, so if you think about something on that scale, obviously, your considerations for glare that comes off of it, your considerations for runoff, your considerations for traffic are a lot different than something for a small 1 acre project, which like what's being right now shopped in this area. But we want to make sure that we have something in place to account for the county's, requirements for construction, just like we would any other building code type thing or building, building permitting. I expect that we'll have a proposed ordinance draft for the board to consider at the next meeting based off of our meeting yesterday. And that way we can have that in place, and when folks are inquiring about that, we'll have a good structure for them to reference and work off of. I think it would be in the best interest of the county that we do that. So that's where we are right now with it. I do not want to come off or imply that I'm a solar energy expert. So I know what a megawatt is, and I know about about the size of the farm it takes to create a megawatt, but that's sort of how we measure it. There's a lot of technical, scientific type stuff that I don't at all profess to be an expert in, but I've been trying to get my head wrapped around how a lot of this stuff works, just so we can look at these ordinances and consider them, the way that they need to be. And I think, like I said, we've got some good examples from other counties that we're looking at that will probably, reference and pick and choose how we want to, follow their examples and create our own and get something put in place. So.
What's our nearest county that's got an ordinance set up?
So Johnson and Massac both have one, so does Pulaski. And then we've got some from Randolph we've got a few other ones that we're looking at too.
Just to clarify this, this is just more or less commercial operations and not residential, right?
It's commercial.
Jim, you get any property taxes off of that?
So there's a special type of solar property tax. So there's a special whole separate division of property tax that applies to commercial solar farms. And I actually looked that up yesterday because I had the same question. Now, at the county level, I don't know I don't know there's anything county level, it's a statewide type property tax. But there is something specific to solar farms.
Okay.
Now, how much and all that, I can't tell you. And of course, it would be based off of the output as well. You know, how big the farm is and how many kilowatts it puts on, megawatts.
Yeah, I told him, Don, did we make any money off the actual product itself that it produces?
So the county, as far as the county level, what you would be looking at is the permitting. Okay, so I think it's what we're looking at is a $2,500 permit based off of the size. Anything over 1 megawatt, it goes up incrementally based off of the megawatts that farm is going to produce. Okay, so, and that's, the numbers we're referencing numbers from other counties that are around the same size of us or thereabout for trying to get that. So it's not something that we should look at as a huge money-making opportunity. It's just kind of like your normal building permit type situation. Now, say you have one of these, if somebody tied up 1,000 acres worth of grant, that'd be a different situation. You're talking about, quite a big investment just in the permitting for it. But your smaller farms it's going to be, like I said, comparable like your building permit type things.
I think we need to be fair to the small, but be prepared for the large too. I mean, the news report I saw on the one down in Missouri, thousands and thousands of dollars to the schools, to the county. I mean, multiple thousands of dollars. So we just need to get it right to start with it, so we're ready to go with it in case that would happen.
Right, and like I said, the structure that I'm looking at right now for you is a graduated pricing for the permitting. The lower end, we want people to be able to do the entry level, but it graduates up in the cost of the permitting based off of the size. So we're talking one acre plots right now, whereas we're talking about 2,500 acres, covered panels, completely different. So.
It's amazing to see. I mean, it really is. Driving by it, I thought, what in the hell are they doing out here? I had no idea what they were building, but it was as far as you can see. And now they're up pretty well, but I can see the glare thing being a problem. I mean, because they're all facing, one side of the road they're facing.
Well, and some of them articulated, they'll track the sun, so there's all different designs, there's different, sizes. As all technology goes, the longer we develop it and it's used, it gets more powerful and smaller, and solar panels are the same way. Now, right now, we see these big panels up there still, but I do know that they've been working to get into the smaller, footprints. But still, yet when you can cover 2,500 acres in them, that's kind of that tells you a little bit about, what's possible out there. Like I said, here in our county, I don't know that anyone's, I'm not aware of any projects of that nature at all right now. But we want to make sure that we have something, sorted out to give these smaller projects and even a bigger project a framework and guidelines to work with. So that's what we do.
There's actually some discussion about some of these larger farms actually creating a heat dome.
Yep.
Which would intensify thunderstorms locally and things of that nature. So I don't know if that's something to think about.
I've run across that too. I think that's all kind of, we need to let science figure that out, but I have seen some literature on that as well. And again, I've not seen anything indicating that a project of that size in any way yet. We'll deal with that if it becomes a question. But we want to make sure we have something in place for what people are looking at right now.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
New business, approved payment of bills. Everybody had a chance to look at the bill list?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that. Pay the bills, yeah.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
All right, item B, University of Illinois Extension Budget Agreement, Jody Johnson. I know Jody's not here, and he sent some of his right-hand people, so.
So my name's Christy Stout. I'm University of Illinois Extension, the 4-H youth development side, and I will let my colleagues introduce themselves.
I am Ife Adesoye. We do the nutrition education program in the county.
My name is John Shadowless. I'm the community economic development educator for the unit, working largely with a lot of rural grocery stores and opportunities for strategic development in communities.
I'm just gonna share a few things. This was the documents that Jody gave. These are just copies if you wanted to see them. We were also just not to take too much of your time, but we were going to leave you with our annual report. That way you could take a closer look at things that have been done throughout the county and throughout the unit. And look at that. I think I have it perfect. No, perfect. I'll give you just a quick update. 4-H youth development in Union County, of course, is thriving as it has for many years. We have taken 4-H not just in the county with clubs, but we're also working within many of the schools. So that has increased our enrollment. So our enrollment throughout our 5 counties is now up to around 1,200. I believe here in Union County, it is around that 400 number, and it may have even increased a little bit. We're now also in the high school with the Team Leader program. We've partnered a lot with the Educators Rising Club. So we're bringing it in a little bit to your high school as well. Other projects, as far as Union County, you know, you see us at the fair every year with many projects, and then we also continue to have the food stand during that event as well. So overall, 4-H, again, like I said, is thriving. Our numbers are growing. I'm gonna also let Ife and John just say a few things more in detail about their program. You'll notice in the 4-H section in your annual report there, as you look at it, there's a couple, one of our coordinators was the Lois Lane winner. We have Hall of Fame winners this year. Meeting children, our main article is meeting children where they're at. So we want you here at Union County to realize that 4-H historically, people have often thought of us as just working with the farms and farming communities, and that by no means we have a lot of STEM activities and are bringing 4-H to the youth and to the schools. So again, we really, pride in those traditional families that have kept things going for years for 4-H, but also at the same time helping it grow in other areas. Union County holds our one and only unit robotics team. That team is very, very active and has competed at the state level. They were actually just in Bloomington this past weekend. So they're a very good representative of your county as well. So again, I can talk about 4-H all day. I'll entertain any questions you have about our youth development program. But again, we ask your support with the continued agreement, but we also have a lot more than just 4-H that goes on with University of Illinois Extension. So I will let Ife talk a little bit about the SNAP program.
And so our nutrition education program is known as SNAP-Ed. So we majorly focus on people who are SNAP eligible or currently on SNAP. And what I just want to highlight is that in the past year, our team has grown from a team of 3 people to now having 6 people. And because our program is federally funded, it means we have more federal dollars in the county than the local cost. So that reduces the pressure on the local cost. And because of that, we're expanding our partnerships. We didn't have someone focusing on programming in this area for like a couple of years back now, but now we do, and we're partnering with food pantries, schools, churches, human services organization, and we're doing nutrition education. I do policy, system, and environmental changes, which is just, promoting healthy habits for people in the county. And I'm a year old in my position. I'm originally from Nigeria. You can tell my accent. I, just moved to the US 3 years ago. So, so our team is expanding and we're doing our partnership in the county. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And Ife didn't mention, but she is a Union County resident, so.
Yes, I do. I live in Anna.
And again, my name is John Shadow, so I won't take up too much of your time, but as a community economic development educator, also as part of the growth and expansion of the unit here locally, Unit 27. 5 years ago, we did not have a community economic development professional available to the communities here. Now we not only have myself, but I have a team of 2 with me, so a total team of 3. Those are Extension Outreach Associates. Primarily, our work has been funded to fight off food deserts, keeping small grocery stores alive and thriving as best as they can in a hyper-competitive environment with Walmarts and Dollar Generals. But beyond that, we are available to work with counties, municipalities on any community economic development initiatives they want. We're your partner for research, for partnership development, whatever it is that the county might look for in terms of growth, we're a resource for you. Please let us know. I'd be happy to partner with you guys. Thank you for your time. I appreciate that.
And in closing, I just want to also say, I know some of you may know, but we did open a new space in Union County. So we have, there are 8 offices in there now, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So a much bigger office than we were in, which is now, it was like the old Taylor Dodge Insurance Company, I believe. We're in the strip mall, not far from where we were located before, but we do have an annex building there as well. So we've increased our space here in Union County.
Are you seeing more traffic? I mean,
I can tell you that the annex is being used a little bit more.
I see a
We
lot of
also
cars
have,
there quite often.
yeah, we also house our filmmakers group. They still come in and do a lot of quilting once or twice a week too. So quite a bit of traffic, but we will entertain any questions that you do have.
Well, I have a question for you to get out of here. The food desert thing. Jonesboro here, I don't know, what, a year and a half ago, we actually lost our only grocery store here locally.
Yeah.
And that's where people got their fresh cut meat and their produce.
Right. Union County Market, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and vegetables and things of that nature. And I noticed that just in 2023, the governor signed a bill into law that they actually understand that there's a problem in Illinois, and they created grant opportunities for independent retailers to upgrade their aging equipment and to open new grocery stores in existing food deserts. I guess my question would be, would Jonesboro be considered a food desert?
That is a tricky question. This money that was appropriated for the last 2 years, the Illinois Grocery Initiative, has been given to TCEO to administrate. So the Commerce and Economic Opportunity has used the USDA Food Atlas as their definitive map of what is a food desert. The problem with that map is it hasn't been updated since well before the pandemic. 2019 is the last data they have, and that data was based on 5 years previous data. So it's really 2014 data. And it's horribly out of date, and it's incredibly inaccurate. So we have had several applicants that are definitely in food. Gallatin County has been a food desert for 25 years. We had an applicant that we worked with, and they were rejected because they didn't fit right on the map. They were about 1.5 miles north of where the food desert line. It's been very frustrating how that grant has been executed throughout the state. We've had multiple grocers that we've helped apply for it that have gotten rejected for one reason or another. It's incredibly cumbersome, very, very hard for people who are not grant making. Mom and pop grocery stores don't have data and cage and like the whole system set up to do an application like that. We'll help them get through that, but it's still, and then that grant is a match requirement and it's a reimbursement grant. So let's say you have a $300,000 project to upgrade your coolers. You have to front all of that, and when it's done, they'll pay you back 75%. And a lot of stores that are struggling don't have access to that level of capital. Yeah, and so we've gotten a lot of negative feedback from the stores, like, this is a great idea, but the execution of it is not helping us at all.
It needs to be
It should, we've been advocating with Senator Fowler. He was one of the champions for this legislation, but the way it made it through the legislative process after coming out of committees and amendments and everything, it was really kind of watered down. And then the execution of it going to DCO, they administer it the same way they do infrastructure grants, you know, for communities. And it's really a whole different animal, but at least in this generation of it, that's why a lot of that money's not flowing to this area. Money's flowing very, very slowly, but we've noticed a lot of it going further north.
That's unfortunate. Well, we need to work on that.
I would love help working on that. We need to make some noise in the General Assembly.
Anybody else?
So did Jody send you with the actual agreement?
Yes.
Okay.
The actual, they got copies to look at, and then there's one to be signed.
Okay.
Correct.
We appreciate you coming and giving the annual report. We definitely are proud to be a part of it, contribute the money that we do. I think it's what, 40,000 in our budget, so hope to continue to do that.
We definitely appreciate the past support and the continued support.
We see it as a partnership, you know, obviously with citizens, so we're honored.
I was real impressed with the new facility. I mean, I went to the ribbon cutting and all of that, and very nice.
You're welcome to stop by anytime.
That's right, anytime. And, you know, I think one of the hardest parts of our job is to showcase what we do. You have to sometimes brag on yourself, and that's very hard. You know, it's hard to do to people to talk about those things. But when we think of Union County, and especially our 5-county unit, you know, we lead the state in a lot of different things, and youth development is one of those. So we are, you know, definitely proud of what we do and proud to be here in Union County and really love our new facility as well.
Again, we thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Come back.
Will do.
Thank
Really.
Okay, item C, resolution appointing director of the
Hey,
Union
Matt.
County.
You're gonna wanna make a motion and pass that amendment.
Oh, you need to do that today?
Yeah, and I put it on the agenda so you can do it.
Motion we accepted. I'll second that.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes.
Excuse me, I thought we had already done that. Done that. All right. Resolution appointing director of the Union County Hospital District, Chris Boyd, due to the death of Raleigh Hawk. They've asked that we appoint Chris Boyd to fulfill the rest of his term, which will expire June 30th, 2025. So that's what this resolution is for, and we'll have to revisit it after that. I think there's one other opening on there as well. So if anybody knows of anyone that gets to serve on there. So I make a motion that we approve the resolution appointing director of Union County Hospital District as presented for Chris Boyd for the remainder of the term expiring on June 30th, 2025.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes.
I don't think we have anything for executive session, do we?
Nope.
Other business? I've got a couple things to bring up. First one, we've had a couple private entities inquire to the highway department, to both cemeteries, both of them are, for us to use our equipment and manpower and so forth to do a couple projects in these cemeteries, mainly culvert and so forth. One of them, they offered to pay for the culvert if we would provide the equipment, the manpower and so forth. This, and the highway engineer, the first ask on it, she told him that we didn't do private property, which we don't. I got approached by another person for another cemetery, same request. I just basically put the request, I'm telling you about it now. This is not something that we're gonna vote on. It's not on the agenda, but wanted to discuss it with the board. Angie reached out to Amy, to give her opinion on this after her speaking with both parties and so forth. She couldn't be here today. I think her husband was having surgery and so forth, but anyway, she wrote a letter and I'm gonna read it to you, to give her explanation on this. Since I would be unable to attend the board meeting on 5/9/25, was asked to comment on the recent request for work on private property. Work on private property is not a great idea for several reasons. First, and perhaps most importantly, is the use of taxpayer funds to do work for private individuals, whether it be a church, cemetery board, or your mother-in-law. Giving in to these types of requests will always be seen as favors and can be used by other individuals in the future to try to get the county to do something for them also. The highway department has a backlog of highway department work to be completed, just does not have the time or resources to honor every request to help on private property. If we honor a request for work on private property, we have to be willing to do the same thing for anyone in the county who requests it. Liability is another reason, unless the county has a hold harmless agreement signed by every individual who we are doing private work for. It opens up the county to liability for damages that may occur during the work. For example, a fence is damaged during the installation of a driveway culvert on private property. Another thing to think about would be what's called the county's liability insurance company would do with a claim for an injury to an employee while working on private property. In early 2025, the county joined IPWMAN, Mutual Aid Network for Illinois. One of the biggest benefits in this intergovernmental agreement that protects the county while doing work outside of the county right of way. So basically, her interpretation is that we shouldn't do this. I know, and the person that approached me mentioned to me that the county had helped them out before in the past. That's a fact. There's no doubt about it. We used to do a lot of things like that years ago before I was on the board, and it created problems. My opinion is I agree with her. I mean, it would be nice to be able to do it, but with liability and everything, and then Joe Blow wants his 15 foot of his driveway that adjoins the county highway. You know, I just got a little bit here I need done. Can you bring a truck out, a tractor? And it can snowball into bigger and worse things. But that's just my opinion. You guys, I'm just throwing it out there. Like I said, I wanted to have an open discussion here. So we were either in agreement or not in agreement, but no, I agree with you. I think we have to go on her recommendations. She knows more about what's going on in that regard. I'm sure the state's attorney could probably add many things to this. It would be nice, but
it's something that I don't think we want to get involved in.
I think it would be a wonderful thing to be able to do, but it would open up a potential can of worms for everybody. And I'm sitting here thinking maybe they could work with somebody with the equipment to do a little pro bono work for them, you know, and that way the contractor could actually take it off of his taxes on doing something good.
You know, that's up to them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways they can go
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
But not involving us.
Correct.
So.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything to add to it?
Do you have anything, Dave?
I agree. It'd be nice, but your little cemetery that you support might have a $300 culvert that needs to be put in, whereas, you know, Friendship Cemetery may need $4,000 worth of our equipment. Where do you draw the line?
Okay. The other thing I want to bring up, and this is basically for you, Commissioner Harville. Do you have anything that you would like to say to me face-to-face regarding your recent social posts and so forth?
That social post came from the minutes of our January 22nd, 2021 minutes. And so, yeah, I have no other feelings than that. That pretty well, what was said at that meeting that day, pretty well said it all, so I'm good with that.
Well, if you're good with it, why would you try to, I'm just asking, I mean, it's deflammatory toward the board.
No, it was not. It was not
deflammatory toward me using my name.
It was not, but it's your name in the minutes. So the only thing I was reiterating is what was at that meeting in 2021. I have people asking me all the time why the county does not take control back over the Union County or former Union County State Pond. And I have to tell them. So this way here, I just reiterated what was already in a public meeting.
I mean, what do you tell them? That I don't want to do it? I mean, that's what you're supposed to read.
That's what the meeting said.
Really?
It was in the meeting.
I'm one vote. And I don't, you know, that was done before I was on the board.
No,
that was given back.
That's true. But
And
I actually brought it up.
the reasons it was given back were many.
I brought it up.
And I think we also told you at that meeting, if you wanted to pursue this, for you to come back with a business plan.
No, that's not what that was said. What was said is that I could go it on my own. And that's what's actually in the public meetings in January 22nd, 2021. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I can't control your social life on
Well,
Facebook.
that was
And I'm
not
not
really.
trying to, but I'm gonna tell you, as I told you once before, I don't appreciate my name being used as a scapegoat for things that you wanna see done.
So I suppose, can I actually put the minutes on a social media post?
They're
from the
out
public-
there,
public
they're out
minutes?
there for the public.
Yeah, right.
Just like right now, the public,
That's correct.
okay?
Yeah.
And I just don't, I don't appreciate that. I reached out this week to our insurance carrier regarding this subject, and just to have a little bit to go on. I mean, the whole idea of it is asinine.
Well, actually, I've been in contact with the village of Dongola, talking to them about the lake in Dongola and how they manage that. And actually, the Department of Natural Resources actually mows and trims down there for them. They do all that work for free. And the only thing they're obligated to do is mow the levee off. The village of Dongola mows the levee off once a year down there to keep trees off from growing. That's the only thing they're obligated to do with the mowing and trimming. And they have, had grant money, I believe, for the picnic tables and the benches, things of that nature.
And I'll speak to that also. Your answer on social media, when somebody asked you how we would fund taking care of this and so forth, was that you were on Southern 5 and you could get a grant. You don't know that you can get a grant. Most of the 95% of the grants that would pertain to that, we don't qualify for, period. $0, in case you didn't know that, because we have money in reserves. So that disqualifies Union County. Now, maybe we can go back and be broke, and then we can do that. But that's not the answer.
Well, we also have, we have money in the bank, but we also, we get grant money for law enforcement, for vests and cameras. And
that's different. That's what I'm saying. You're not, you need to do a little more research on your grant stuff, because we don't qualify. We can't even apply.
And you don't know until you try it.
Okay.
Mac, isn't that exactly what you said to Daryl? You know, Daryl, go put a business plan together, you know, tell us what it's gonna cost to take care of it, what monies are available. From my standpoint, we can't hardly afford to do anything in this county anyways.
Actually, when I was first elected into office, I tried getting a committee together, and that was shot down too, for particular things like that. So, yeah, that would have been discussed and done in that committee, but it got shot down too.
Well, anyway, I think you need to do a little more research on it before you start putting answers out like that. And again, I don't appreciate you.
Well, I just wish you, rather than being the commissioner of no, I wish you would be the commissioner of maybe.
I'm not the commissioner of no. Don't put that on me. I voted no. Didn't vote because there was no second on it, but that's my vote. I'm not controlling him, or you.
The vote I gave you the second on was for the side-by-sides.
Well, whatever, same deal. You know, and again, just like our insurance company stated, they cannot cover environmental problems, okay? And I don't know if you remember or not, and it's not.
Do you realize that there's crops grown there on that property? And that actually the water is flowing off of that property right now into the creeks?
I sure as hell wouldn't want to eat any of the crops.
Well, if it's such an environmental concern, how come it hasn't been designated a environmental cleanup site?
It's not mine to do that. That's why we got rid of it, because it is there. It's a proven fact what happened, and people in the county damn near went to jail over it. So, you know, it's.
Yeah, that was long ago.
But it doesn't go away wishing. It doesn't go away. It's still there.
Actually, there's.
I don't think it's been drained and soil removed at the bottom so many inches or feet or whatever. It's all still there. So it's a moot point. Plus the fact, we're not in the business to own property scattered out all over the county. That's not what county government is for.
Right. So that's how come one another reason I haven't pursued or brought it up to this board, because I've been working with Paul Jacobs, our state rep.
Well, that's fine.
I haven't brought it up, Max. You brought it up.
No, you brought it up.
No, I just simply explained to the public why the county isn't pursuing it.
No, you didn't explain why. You just said Max didn't want to do it. And I take offense to that.
You really need to go back and look at those minutes.
I don't need to look at the minutes. I know what we said. I
really
remember,
do.
and I'll
You
say
really
it
need to
again
look
right
at
now.
those minutes, because they do speak word for word.
That's fine. I said no then, I'm saying no now. But that's me.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So I don't want
You're
the
right.
other board members being accused of something.
And I didn't.
Well, the way you write stuff on there, Darrell,
No,
it looks bad on the board, period.
No, it didn't look bad on the board at all.
Okay, well, I've had
most people don't even talk to me about stuff like that. But I've had probably between 100 and 200 people contact me since you put all that out there. And that's not the way John Q. Public is interpreted. That we fight and feud and don't agree on anything.
So can
That's
I
not
go back
the
on
case.
social media to straighten that
I
out?
don't care what you do.
Well, obviously you do.
Well, just leave my name out of it. If you-
Well, I'm okay to straighten it out.
Well, okay, you do what you want.
Can I do that on social media?
I'm not advising on this.
Okay.
Well, I'm just expressing my opinion publicly, and as a board, and as chairman of the board, I don't appreciate that kind of stuff on social media, so I'll
Well,
leave it at that.
that's true enough, but you know, being chairman of the board is just one position.
That's
There's
right.
4 other members up here.
That's right.
There's 4, and each one of them have an opinion, and they're very important people because they're here to represent the citizens of Union County.
Are you accusing me of not asking for your opinion or anybody else's?
No,
Okay, thank you.
but you could encourage your opinion
I do.
because it's important too.
Okay. Any other business?
I'm not gonna say something. As everybody knows, I've had a difficult last several months with my health and have utilized the services of Union County Hospital several times. And Union County Hospital is a blessing to this county, and it goes unrecognized most of the time. Probably without it, there would probably been a couple times that I could have died without the services they provided and the staff. And the doctors there have been amazing. The staff has been amazing, and Amanda Dillon, I'll use her as a name, she has been absolutely, it seems like whenever I'm there, she's the nurse in the emergency room. And we don't know what we have until you use it. A lot of people criticize because of the care that they may have gotten. That's absolutely sad when they do that, because our hospital is critical for the survivability of Union County in the long run. And again, they've made arrangements with, and I'll tell you, Cody has been a vital part in the Union County ambulance and taking care of me, and the helicopter service that's used, I unfortunately had to use it twice, but the hospital took care of making the arrangements to get me to St. Louis University and to Northwestern University. And we all need to recognize that and publicize the fact that that is a valuable part of Union County. And I'm sorry I'm calling Union County Hospital, I guess it's Deaconess now, but don't underestimate. They'll say, do I get you moved on to somebody that can actually maybe fix your problem, but without it, I think there were a couple times I may have not been able to make it to a hospital. So, and I appreciate all the prayers from everybody during the time that I've missed here. I felt disappointed that I wasn't able to be here, but it has been a hard road to hoe. And I also did want to say I have permission from Rolly Hawk's wife to say this. You know, we brought his name up a few minutes ago. He was an organ donor when he passed away. And I know during my recovery phases, I've used a lot of blood and out of the blood system. And don't be afraid to sign up to give an organ when you pass away, and or when it's available, give your blood. It's critical. And as I said, I think I've used maybe 15 units of blood over the last several months. Thank you, Max.
Appreciate it. I do know what you just said, so we'd be lost without it. Sure. Any other business?
Well, to piggyback off of that, this week has been Nurses Appreciation Week, and really just want to thank all the nurses in the community. We took a couple baskets out to Union County Hospital just to show our appreciation.
Good deal.
I'm still going out there twice a week to have blood drawn for lab work, and the lab there is spectacular. The couple nurses that are doing it are very kind, compassionate. Lisa Root, who used to work here, is one of the receptionists, and she knows everybody, and very kind and compassionate. And we just unfortunately, the community doesn't hear that or see it. And Cody does regularly when he goes out there. They're amazing.
Well, one more time, Kim, the open house out there, was that June or May 21st? June, okay.
Maybe the ground will be dry.
Maybe, yeah.
Motion to adjourn? Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes?
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Duell.
Yes.